Namaste, everybody. Wonderful to be meeting you all again. So, this is Dr. Meena Ramanathan representing the School of Yoga Therapy of the Institute of Salutogenesis and Complementary Medicine of Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth. So, the topic we would be looking at today is Pancha Koshas, and this is going to be the plan of presentation. So, Pancha Koshas sounds like a new term, right? Pancha meaning 5 and koshas meaning layers or different levels of existence or different dimensions of existence, sheath, whatever you want to call it like. And Taittiriya Upanishad, one of the classical traditional texts in yoga, explains man as a multi-dimensional, multi-layered individual, and he is supposed to be a universal being as explained in the Upanishad. And well-being is more than health. It's not just in the physical level, it's beyond that, everything integrated. You put together the psychological, the emotional, the social and the spiritual aspects also. So, well-being means that all these levels of existence are aligned and integrated together, so for the wellness to prevail. And this is a model through which it can be easily explained. So, this is how the modern human body is explained as in the scientific perspective. You know how it is like cells and tissues, organs, organ systems and all these. But how does tradition explain human body to be? So, the yogic perspective is what we are discussing about today, the Pancha Koshas. If you can see the picture there, the man with 5 different levels of existence, the gingerbread man. So, the first level, the grossest level of existence being Annamaya Kosha, that which sustains with the help of Anna, the food that we eat, the food and the nutrition. So, this can be correlated or corresponded with the physical body, the physiological level of the human existence. The subtle level starts from here, the energy level of existence, Pranamaya Kosha, as the word signifies prana, the life force or the catalyst that helps us to function. All the functionalities of the various organs of the system of the whole individual, like for example seeing, talking, anything and everything needs energy, and that energy is termed as prana. So, the existence of this level of the kosha, the existence mainly governs whether the person is individual is alive or doesn't have life, right, dead. And the next level, next 2 levels in fact correspond to the mind. The Manomaya Kosha being the lower mind, that is made up of the Chitta and Manas. Manas is the conscious mind, that which is acting, functioning now, and Chitta being the subconscious mind. And these, this level, it is just the generation of thoughts that happens. And this is the higher mind, the Vijnana, as the word signifies Jnana, wisdom. So, this is the level that we call as the superconscious or the higher mind, which is made up of the Buddhi and Ahamkara. Buddhi again being represented by 3 different Shaktis, the Ichcha, Jnana and the Kriya Shaktis, the energy of will, the wisdom and the execution of whatever it is. So, the thought being generated in the lower mind, the higher mind helps it to be executed and analyze it, whether it is good, whether it needs to be taken forward or whether we need to throw away that thought immediately. So, the discriminatory factor is supported by the Viveka and the Vairagya. Viveka being the quality of discernment, and Vairagya helps you to be more objective about analysis and not be subjective. The Anandamaya Kosha, the subtlest of all the levels of existence in the human being. This is the level of bliss, the sheath of bliss. It's also sometimes represented as the cosmic egg. So when we are talking about the alignment of the different koshas, there may be a disturbance in the lower 4 levels like the gross and the subtle levels, but the subtlest level, the level of bliss, is never disturbed. That is why it is a cosmic egg, the egg of protection that completely guards us and protects us against everything. And this is the level that enables the individual being to correspond with the universal being. And this is where, for example, you're listening to a song, you completely merge into it. You start enjoying it and then you completely merge. So the experience is completely merged with the action. So that is the moment where you completely attain that state of bliss. So the correlation, simple way being, the sthula, the gross level correlated with the physiological level, the Annamaya Kosha, the subtle level, the Sukshma, being correlated to the next 3 koshas, the Pranamaya, Manomaya and the Vijnanamaya, and the causal level of existence, the subtlest level, the Karana, being correlated with the Anandamaya Kosha, Ananda, the level of bliss. So this is how the yogic understanding or the yogic perspective of psychosomatic disorders is explained. So Adija Vyadi is the term that is given from Yoga Vasishta, a classic literary work of yoga again. Adi meaning your mind. So what is happening because of the interactions, because of our everyday existence? You have to be, like talking to people, corresponding to people, looking at many things, and all our senses create the experience which disturbs the individual. Some are pleasant, some are not pleasant. So there's a total disturbance happening in the level of the mind. That promotes agitations in your mind, disturbances, afflictions in your mind, which is percolated into the energy level of existence. So what happens, what starts as a disturbance in your mind, the Manomaya Kosha, now percolating into your energy level of existence by the disturbance of prana in the nadis, the astral channels in which the prana is traveling. And there's a disturbance. So for example, your breathing rate becomes disturbed, your breath rate. For example, when you're angry, what happens to your breath rate? We don't think about it, but normally the respiratory rate goes up. So these are small things that we can catch hold of when it is beginning, and this further percolates into your physiological level of existence, disturbing the cellular activity. So sometimes it becomes hypocellular activity, sometimes it becomes hypercellular activity, or sometimes it is improper or altered cellular, and corresponding to the disturbance that settles in as a vyadi in the physical level of existence. So what starts as just one thought that is disturbing you, that is causing the agitation, now is ending up as a dis-ease. So the moment you lose that sense of ease, you end up with a dis-ease. So the levels of the mind again is correlated with the cause of the disease. So those that are caused by the mind can be again divided into the primary and the secondary. The primary being called as the Adija Vyadi, what we just saw, the psychosomatic or the stress related disorders, and yoga is completely amenable to such disorders to retrace and come back to like the original state where you were, back to the state of normalcy. And those that are afflicting or affecting the body directly are called as the secondary set of diseases, the Anadija Vyadi, that which is like the infectious diseases, the bacteria, virus and all that, or accidents also for that matter. And the third classification could be Vyadija Adi, that which starts from the body and disturbs the mind. So, this class, you know, it's because of the faulty eating or faulty lifestyle that the man adapts, so causing diseases. So, these are the basic classification just for an idea sorry, how it is taken or how it is understood in yoga. So, what are the remedies? We have seen the causes for the diseases, but the remedies being, you know, at different levels you can think about the techniques. There are thousands of techniques in yoga, and you can pick and choose as per the individual, as per the individual condition, the comorbidities that are existing and variations that could be applied on that individual. So, depending on that, for the Annamaya Kosha, we normally would go with, you know, the activation part, the what we call as the jatis or kriyas, being, you know, like the warm up practices or structured rational movements, the asanas, the postures wherein, you know, you hold it with ease and stability, synchronizing your breathing to it. So, we saw the level of the mind, the level of the body. What is connecting these two, what is bridging these two is the level of the breath, the energy level. So, breathing is very, very important to you know, connect the body and the mind together. So, which is bridging and which is bringing the body and the mind together. So, those fragments that are getting apart, that are being pulled apart, are brought together by the breath. So, which is the focus on? Whatever practice we are doing, we focus mainly on the breath, and only then it becomes a mindful practice. And yoga is more a mindful mind-body practice. So, if the problem is in the level of the pranamaya koshas, what we call as the shat karmas, the cleansing practices could be applied, or different pranayama techniques are there, and practices such as, you know, the balancing practices like the anuloma viloma. The names may not be familiar to you, but just an idea of what is happening at what level, just for that. And in the lower level, lower mind, the practices such as, you know, the Trataka, cleansing of the eye could be done, but strengthening also could be done, which enhances the focus, ability to hold your attention into one spot or one point, one region, like in dharana, the concentration, dhyana, all these could be prescribed for the remedy of the disturbance that is in the lower mind. So, what about the higher mind now? What we call as the swadhyaya, the analysis. You analyze yourself, self analysis, you question yourself, is this right, am I doing it right, am I functioning properly, is it the right thing to be doing, am I hurting anybody. So, there are various levels at which you can start analyzing. And counseling, talking to the other person, what we call as the satsanga could also be there, where, you know, it is a group, a common minded group where you can vibe with them, the you know, the frequency of level or thought is the same, it's kindly elevated, and it's going to be a great experience when like minded people can come together and have you know, like wise discussions. So, that would be the satsanga. And for Anandamaya Kosha, what we would prescribe is, like I was talking to you about, listening to music where you can just merge or gel with it completely, lose yourself. Karma yoga, where you do an activity, you perform an activity, you do something for others without expecting anything in return. So, that could be, you know, like the best thing. Which is called as the nishkama karma. You are not doing for the return, you are not expecting anything in return. So, that is kind of what we call as the nishkama karma, and that type of activity enables you to attain that state of Sat Chit Ananda as it is. the joy in all activities, your involvement, and completely, you know, like you merge with it. Your experience is completely one with your activity. And bhajans also. So there are various, and each individual could correspond to something different, and that depends on the individual mindset. So what is it that we saw is a basic thing about, you know, pancha koshas, how at various levels of the human existence, how the problems are caused and how we can find a solution to that problem.
That's not something I can help with yet.
It enables us to move from that state of dis-ease, the dukkha, to that state of ease, where you are in that state where you could be what we call as the sukha sthanam, where you are at ease with yourself. That's a state of pleasantness, the state where you're completely healthy, and the state where well-being prevails. So thank you again.